that's my goal to you. Is I want to help you make the world a better place. But you can't do that without wealth. It's great to have good intentions. It's great to empathize, right? But that doesn't fix things. That doesn't stroke the check for the donation. That doesn't give the family a home that doesn't have it. That doesn't pay for the grocery bill of the single mom who can't afford it. That doesn't give the $1,000 tip on Christmas Eve to the waiter or waitress that's struggling. Good intentions need to be backed with production. All right. What's going on? Jerry Fetta here, owner, founder, and CEO of Wealth Dynamics, coming to you with another Finance Friday. It's good to see everyone again this week. It's good to see you if you're watching, if you're here live, maybe you're checking out the replay. We have a really good course in mind for you, and we're going to talk about some really important stuff, right? Now, before we get started, I want to go over the purpose of these Finance Fridays. I'm going to share my screen here just in 1 second, and I want to cover really the reason why we do these. Okay, I've been doing Finance Friday basically almost every week, going on like 5 years now, right? And it's something I'm passionate about, and it's something I continue to do, even though I really don't need to. I don't get paid for doing something like this, but it really is my desire to help spread financial literacy, right? Because I grew up without it, and so I know for a fact from firsthand experience, life is already hard. It's harder when you don't know how money works, right? That's a real thing. Like if you don't know how money works, you're gonna struggle, and life is already a struggle, okay? So the purpose of Finance Friday is to give simple, true, and applicable financial training that helps good people build more wealth and make the world a better place. That really is what this is about, right? So if you're a good person and you're watching this evening, that's my goal to you. Is I wanna help you make the world a better place. But you can't do that without wealth. It's great to have good intentions. It's great to empathize, right? But that doesn't fix things. That doesn't stroke the check for the donation. That doesn't give the family a home that doesn't have it. That doesn't pay for the grocery bill of the single mom who can't afford it. That doesn't give the $1,000 tip on Christmas Eve to the waiter or waitress that's struggling. Good intentions need to be backed with production, activity, actually doing something, right? So that's really what this is about. Is we need the education and training, and we were never taught this stuff. We weren't taught in school how money works. We were never taught how to increase our incomes. We were never taught the difference between money and currency, right? We were never taught, don't save in banks. I was never taught don't save money in a bank. I was taught that's the first thing you should do, right? So because we lack information, we end up making mistakes, right? And I want to give you the sum total cost in 2023 for America. This is the cost of financial illiteracy, okay? It is over $380 billion was the total cost of financial illiteracy. $380 billion. Look what just arrived. I just got my copy of the Blueprint to Financial Freedom. Hey, enjoy the rest of the content. I don't want to interrupt you too long, but if you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo or click the link in the description, you can get your copy now. Just to give you an idea, okay? We're all against fraud. Fraud's not cool, right? I've experienced it on the negative side. It's not fun, okay? Fraud cost Americans $10 billion in 2023. Okay, financial illiteracy cost Americans 38 times more than that. Think about that, 38 times more than that. Okay, the United States Federal Reserve Bank, they have about $500 billion in gold. That's almost all of their gold stores. That's about almost two-thirds, a little over two-thirds of what the Federal Reserve Bank has stored up in gold. We lost it. And we can't even blame anyone, guys, because it's our own stupidity. We don't learn this stuff. And I don't say that to be rude or offensive, but when you don't know something and you're the effect of it, you're stupid. Stupid's not an insult. We have this mixed definition of stupid. Oh, that's an insult and you're being rude. No. Stupid means to not know something. There's things I'm stupid on. I'm stupid on art. I don't know much about art, right? For me, that's not something that really moves the needle in my life. I don't learn about it. But for us, finances should move the needle. It's something that's important. It's something that's going to impact all of us. So that's the reason we do these Finance Friday courses, okay? Now, before we get into it, I want to go over the ground rules. If you're watching, if you're listening, Number one, I want you to have a purpose. I want you to have a reason for being here right now. Why are you watching this? Okay, what problem are you trying to solve? What goal are you trying to achieve? Right? And what's going to happen if you leave here tonight and you don't solve whatever that thing is and the effects it's making on your life right now? Okay, if you're paycheck to paycheck and struggling, like how is that impacting you? Okay, what if you could get information tonight that would solve that? If you're wanting to be financially independent and you just can't figure it out, right? And you're sick of the rat race and the whole thing, and you're like, man, how do I get out of this thing? If you don't leave tonight with an answer and you never find an answer, what's going to happen? What is that going to look like in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Okay, so I want you to know your purpose. Why am I here? Why am I watching? Why am I listening? What am I trying to get from this? Number two, don't be a know-it-all. Nobody likes a know-it-all, right? Nobody likes a know-it-all. We already know that you know things. So what I want you to do is I want you to acknowledge the things that you know. And I want you to then acknowledge that there are some things you probably don't know. Knowing is evidenced by doing, and successful doing is evidenced by successful results. Therefore, any area in my life that I don't have successful results, there's something I don't know. No matter how many times I've heard it, read it, listened to it, watched it, how many different people have said it a different way, if I'm not winning with it, there's still something missing. Okay, I have a law of wealth that says that true financial training leads to true financial understanding, which leads to true financial results, positive results. So if I'm not getting true positive financial results, then I don't have true financial understanding, which means I don't have true financial training. Okay, we're going to solve that tonight. Number three, believe in yourself. Okay, you got to believe you can do this. Right? And for those of you that struggle with that, like for me, what solved the belief thing, if I can't believe in myself, how in the world can I expect my loved ones to? How in the world can I expect my employees to? How in the world can I expect my boss to? How can I expect anyone to believe in me if I don't believe in myself? Literally, it's like selling a product you don't believe in. It's actually out of integrity. Thinking, oh, other people will support me and other people are going to believe in me and they're going to take care of me and they're going to make me feel better, but I don't believe in the product myself. That's actually wrong. If I was selling a car I didn't believe in, you guys would say, shame on you. You should never do that. Right? But how many of us, we embark on learning and we from the get-go don't believe in ourselves? Okay, the reason I'm teaching this course right now is I believe in you. I believe in you. I don't maybe even know you and I believe in you. Right? I believe that if you get the right information at the right time in the right moment where you're sick and tired of whatever you've got going on and you decide it's time for a change and you get the information, I believe you're going to demand that I need to use this. I need to change. I want to improve. I'm going to get help. And you're going to start doing it. But that doesn't happen if you don't believe in your own ability and capability. So I want you to get rid of finances are too hard. I can't learn about this. Money is a difficult subject, right? You are a capable and able being. You can do whatever you set your mind to. Set your mind to this. Decide you can learn it. And then just do that. Stick with it, okay? Number 4. This is the Jerry Fetta rule. Whatever you learn today, you need to apply it within 24 hours. And I want you to play the mental game that if you don't, whatever you learned or thought you learned is going to disappear if you don't apply it within 24 hours and you will never be able to use it again. Okay, so those are the rules to the game tonight. Now, we're going to talk about how to handle financial windfalls and inheritances. You know, when you get money, a windfall, right? You sell a business, you win the lottery, you have a settlement come in, right? An inheritance comes in. Whatever it might be, you find a bag of cash in your backyard. I don't know, but people come across money and sometimes it's very unexpected. Sometimes it's in very strange ways. And sometimes it's people you would never expect it to happen to. I'm sure they didn't expect it to happen when it happened. So check this out. What is a financial windfall? We need to define what this is. Okay, a windfall, not breaking winds, not the Windy City, windfall, right? A windfall, a financial windfall is when you receive a large and often unexpected amount of money. That's what it is. Examples, inheritances, settlements, asset sales, lottery winnings, all the things I just mentioned. Okay, here are some of the statistics though, because here's the thing. I think, and I feel like there's this mindset, and I remember having this at some point. You know, if somebody would just, give me a hand up right now, You know, if I could just get the startup money from my business, if I had rich parents and they could just help me, if I had a wealthy mentor who would just take me under his wing and give me a break and teach me these things and give me some money just to get started, right? And I want to share with you what really happens, the actuality of the situation, okay? So check this out. Let's talk about lottery winners, okay? 70% of lottery winners file bankruptcy within years of winning the lottery. Guys, I didn't say they lost all their money or they had less than they started. They filed bankruptcy, like literally the worst possible bottom of the bottom financial thing that can happen to you. They win the lottery, millions of dollars, potentially tens of millions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars. And within years, they're actually like completely out of money and in the negative and not able to pay people. Okay, only 20% of Americans would seek financial advice after seeking a windfall. Another one I want to give you, I want to actually Google this one. What percentage of professional athletes? This one is crazy. I forget the exact statistics. I'm Googling it right now. Professional athletes go broke. NBA, NFL, you name it, right? Okay, so check this out. Some statistics here. 2009, according to 2009 Sports Illustrated, 35% of the National Football League players are either bankrupt or under financial stress within 2 years of retirement. Guys, within 2 years, NFL football players, 35% of them. 60% of NBA basketball players within 2 years are either bankrupt or under financial stress. 78% of NFL players, that's a conflicting stat. Oh, this is a different study. And then Major League Baseball players as well. Like these are all the different sports, right? So we're seeing with the NBA, I watched basketball all the time when I was a kid, 60% of those guys. 2 out of 3 of the millionaire earners on the basketball court, they get paid to play a game, they make millions of dollars. Within 2 years of retirement, they are either broke or they're filing bankruptcy. 2 years. Okay, check this out. Only 20% of Americans would seek financial advice after receiving a windfall. 1 out of 5. 21% of Americans are relying on a financial windfall to fund their retirement. Right? 43% of Americans would not tell their spouse if they received the financial windfall. They would keep it a secret. Guys, that's almost... Let's confront that number there. That's almost 1 out of 2. 1 out of 2 people. And how many people are married? 2, right? So that's like saying in every marriage, one of the people would keep it a secret. That is ridiculous. 1 out of 2 people, that's nuts. They would keep it a secret. 45% of Americans think it is more likely that they'll win the lottery than inherit a financial legacy. This one is sad. Okay, and I'm not one of those, oh, that's sad kind of people, right? But there's zero reason every American citizen should not inherit a financial legacy. It's not hard, guys. Earn more than you spend. Pay yourself first. And yourself, meaning literally actually yourself. You control the money, not giving it to Wall Street and banks. Invest in things that don't lose and pay you passive income. Right? This is a game of disciplines. Right? Disciplines in education. And in our country, we're one of the wealthiest income countries on the planet. And we're one of the least disciplined. Right? I don't know what's happened, and I actually do know what's happened. I'm not going to get into it on this course. But guys, we've become a population of weak-minded, immediate instant gratification, withdrawing from things that we're not good at rather than practicing them to get better. Like, these are all weaknesses. And I don't say that again, it's like the stupid thing. We've turned these words into like insults. Weak means not strong. If I am weak at push-ups, what do I do if I want to get strong at push-ups? I do the thing I'm weak at. I train on it. Okay, if I'm weak at money, and money's a lot more important than push-ups. If I'm weak at money, that's a big deal. That impacts me, that impacts my spouse, that impacts my kids, that impacts my loved ones, that impacts my community, my church. Right? We were just at my church tonight. We made a donation, right? And When I was a kid, my mom used to do that and actually put our family in jeopardy. She would donate money that we didn't actually have. And I knew it. And I would sit there thinking, okay, there goes. The rest of the year is going to be a struggle now. Right? That's not good. Like, you shouldn't have, like, you do one thing with money and it injures other parts of your life. Okay? So not being able to build a legacy, it's like you should be able to do that as easy as you're going to breathe. Okay? Because you have the training. If you lack the training, it's not going to happen. Okay? So why do people go broke from getting rich? We just looked at this. I want to go back again. Okay, I want to go back again on this one. 70% of lottery winners filed bankruptcy within years of winning. We talked about the NFL, 35% of those guys are broke within 2 years. 60% of the NBA players are broke within 2 years. How can someone be in such an opportunistic, I inherited money or I have this windfall and still manage to go broke? Okay, the number one reason is financial training. Financial training. Okay, I was talking to my son tonight, and he said, hey, I was playing basketball, and so jammed my finger, right? And it was more, I mentioned, I was like, no, that wasn't why. It's more about how you catch the ball. Training, he's never had training on how to catch a ball, right? So how do we get better at that? You continue to catch the ball until you can catch it really fast, then you don't get your finger jammed, right? Just like with finances, if I get a bunch of money, millions of dollars, and I don't have the training, what do you think I'm going to do with it? You think I'm immediately going to be professional and I'm going to be like, I know exactly what to do, right? With a basketball, I've never played before. Someone throws me the ball. It's not like I instantly snap into professional mode. No, I need to practice it and get good at it and have repetition and actually do the thing that I'm not good at yet. So if you've not been practicing that before receiving money, when you receive the money, guess what? You will get rid of the money, and not in a good way. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is the inability to earn, save, and invest. Okay, now, these are all skills, and these are all disciplines. Earning means you have a tendency to work and receive money for that work. You have a tendency to produce something and receive money for that production. Now, here's the thing. All of us, every single one, has three things. One, a brain. Two, the ability to communicate. We have that more so than ever today. Three, 168 hours in a week. If you have that, it's a level playing field at that point. Can you think? If you can't think, okay, I get it. Can you communicate? If you can't, I get it. Okay, but if you can think and you can communicate, what is it that you do with those 168 hours? Netflix isn't paying you. Instagram feeds aren't paying you. And I'm sorry to tell you, YouTube content on money isn't paying you. And I'm not telling you don't watch my videos, but I'm telling you this isn't how you get the income. Like, this is how you get the first one, the training, which then should lead you to saying, oh, I understand this game. I'm going to play it. I'm going to get the money. So then you would earn because you're applying what you've learned. See? And then you would save because you're disciplined with the money that you have and you pay yourself first and you practice financial control and allocation and then you invest, and investing is a discipline too. Investing is repeating the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Right? Number three, there are other reasons people go broke. Standard of living exceeds standard of production. Okay, so we have this phenomena that's happened of someone gets a bunch of money in, right? They have a windfall, it shows up, they've got this giant chunk of money in their life now, right? And so what do? They increase their standard of living. We'll call that SOL. Their standard of living goes up, right? So they receive, $1 million, and now all of a sudden, they're able to go on, outings they couldn't go on, eating at restaurants, going on trips, buying houses, buying cars, and they increase their standard of living, but they violate a natural law of wealth. Okay? Always earn a lot more than you spend. Always earn a lot more than you spend. That is a natural law of wealth. If you didn't earn, because you didn't earn a windfall is not earnings. Okay? And in the case of these professional athletes, sure, it might be for a time, for their career period, but that earning, they know it's going to stop. Okay, a lottery winner doesn't have that. Someone who sells their business doesn't have that, right? Somebody who sells a piece of real estate and gets a chunk from it, they don't have that. That's not an earning. So your income should dictate your standard of living, not the windfall. The windfall, we're going to talk about what to do with that, but you shouldn't be increasing your standard of living because you got a windfall. You're guaranteeing to be broke in the future. Okay, step number 4, outside influences. All of a sudden, everyone comes knocking, giving you advice, asking for loans. Over, athletes, they go buy their mom and dad 2 or 3 houses and new cars. And guys, you don't want to do those things. Again, instant gratification versus delayed gratification. Do I take the win now, or do I prolong it and let it get bigger and better and bigger and better? Those instant feel-good decisions with finances are almost always the wrong ones. Right? So you have to actually ignore the outside influences, the outside advice, okay, the other opinions. And then finally is speculation, right? Speculation. They get the windfall, they get the money in, and they realize, they're like, I have enough money to now go and buy Bitcoin, or buy GameStop stock, or AMC stock, or Dogecoin, or whatever it might be, right? And so they speculate. And because they speculate, they're not actually practicing a repeatable action with their money, and they lose it, right? And they're riding on this speculation to happen, and it never really happens for them because the chance of it is so low, right? It's literally, I call it victim investing, speculation, okay? So luck happens when preparation meets opportunity. Some of you guys are watching, I'm going to unshare my screen really quick. Some of you guys are watching this or listening to this, and you're like, great course, Jerry, but that's never going to happen to me, right? I'm never going to have a windfall. I don't have wealthy people in my family. Where am I going to get this chunk of money that shows up? Okay, you get lucky from being prepared. I want you to realize the more you train financially, the more you are getting yourself ready to have money, the more likely you are to have it, right? It's not like it shows up and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, now I'm going to learn. No. It's like anything. You prepare before it happens. Okay, I remember when I was a kid, my mom reading me Bible stories, Noah's Ark. Guys, that guy built an ark for, I think it was years during a drought before it ever rained. You want to talk about preparation meets opportunity. Like, people literally thought he was batshit crazy. Why is that guy building that giant boat in the middle of a desert where it doesn't rain and there's been a drought? And he's like, there's going to be a flood, right? He's literally like the crazy guy under the bridge with the sign. Okay, but according to the story, there was a flood. He was prepared. The opportunity struck and he was ready. Okay, and this word opportunity, check this out. When I studied the word opportunity, because I had a debate with someone on this, right? And they were saying, opportunity, it's a luck thing. Okay, opportunity, I believe the root of that word, the origin of that word, it actually refers to wind catching the sails of a boat and propelling the boat across the water. Okay, let me ask you this. Was it luck, or did the sailor prepare ahead of time by having his sails up in the first place? Yeah, you can't control when the wind shows up, but you can control that you have sails and that they're up. And it's hard work to do that. And other people might be like, why has he got bed sheets on his boat, right? So opportunity is something that you actually have a high degree of control and cause over. Okay, luck happens when opportunity meets preparation. Are you even prepared to be lucky? Okay, because here's what I would call bad luck. Bad luck would mean you get the windfall and then 2 years later you're broke and filing bankruptcy. I would call that pretty unlucky, right? Do you know why that person's unlucky? Because they weren't prepared to have the luck in the first place. Right? So how can you prepare? I want to give you guys some training on this. Number one, and you are always going to hear me hear this, get yourself financially trained. Get yourself financially trained. Get yourself financially trained. It's up to you. I get it. We didn't learn about it in school. We should have. I'm the first one to agree with that. I was lucky enough that someone, when I was 18 years old, sat me down and said, look, if you take a little bit of money and you invest it and you make this much per month and you continue doing that, you're going to be a millionaire by the time you're 30. Okay, when I was 17, 18 years old, someone had that conversation with me and they showed me the numbers. And that was the first time in my life where it became real to me that I could change the pattern of my family. Because guys, we grew up broke. We grew up broke. When I was 8 years old, my mom and dad got divorced. The house got taken away. The car got repossessed. And we were homeless on both sides of the family. So when I was 17 or 18 years old and someone said, look, Jerry, if you take just this little bit of money and you consistently put it aside, and you consistently earn it, and you consistently save it, and you consistently invest it, and you invest it in a smart way, you can be a millionaire by the time you're 30. Okay? I'm turning 32 in 2 weeks. Okay? I'm financially independent. I don't have to trade time for money anymore. Because I did exactly what I was trained to do at the age of 17 or 18. Right? So get yourself financially trained. That's why I do these Finance Friday courses. That's why we have Wealth Dynamics Nation. If you're not in Wealth Dynamics Nation, guys, there's not a better place to learn about money. We don't charge anything for that. That's my gift to humanity. That's going to be part of my legacy. I want worldwide financial education. The right to build wealth should be a human right. Okay, and you guys might be like, well, that's a little superficial. Okay, no, it's not though. From the beginning of time, there have been kings and peasants. There have been serfs and lords. There have been ruling classes, and there have been the people being ruled. Who got to pick those guys? Why all of a sudden are those guys on top? Why? Because they understood finances. The common denominator of every king, every lord, every ruler is they understood and controlled money. The common denominator of all the peasants, the serfs, the slaves, the people being ruled, they did not understand money. They had no financial training. Some of the most able people I've ever met are held back simply over a piece of green paper. And it's not that hard to learn about. And every country, every nation should be able to. So that's why we do Wealth Dynamics Nation, if you guys didn't know that. Number 2, master your ability to earn, save, and invest so you aren't the effect of money. That means you should practice and drill and get good at these things. Okay? If you don't earn enough income, you should be spending more time doing the things that pay you. Okay, and I don't want to pick on anybody here, but there's some people watching. I know you're here. Okay, you're complaining about your money, yet you don't do anything that brings it in. Extra. You're not working on the evenings. You're not working on the weekends. You're one of these like, I need to achieve life balance. I need to make everything stay and conserve all of it and make it perfect. That doesn't exist. You're going to be poor and your kids will too. You're going to be a liability to your children. When you're 60, they will be paying for your diapers to be changed because you tried to have balance, right? You need to take this thing seriously. And it isn't hard. It's not like I'm telling you never see your family. It's not like I'm telling you never watch Netflix. It's not like I'm telling you never do anything you enjoy. I'm telling you, if you were to take an additional 2 hours a night on the week and then part of your Saturday, and you took that time and you changed it over to something that earns income, and you were to take 100% of that income and you were to save and invest it, you would change your financial legacy for your family generationally. It is not difficult. Okay? So, number 3, what do you do here? Earn more than you spend and always earn a lot. I said that's a rule of wealth. Always earn a lot more than you spend. Because if you get a windfall, you want to already have your income figured out. You shouldn't be like, I finally can increase my standard of living because I've got this chunk of money now. No. You should be increasing your income anyways. And if you're not increasing your income, go back to point number 2 and point number 1. There's something you don't know about increasing your income. Something you don't understand if it's not happening. And if it's not happening, it's because you don't understand it. And if you don't understand it, it's because you have incorrect financial training in that area. How do you solve that? By getting correct financial training in that area. That's it. Okay? So, number 4, get good at saying no when it comes to money. No is one of my favorite words. Okay, ask my wife. When it comes to money, I'm excellent at saying no. She is too. Right? It's literally a gift of mine. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter what it's for. It doesn't matter how many times I've asked. I've had people ask me 6 or 7 times in a row, for this, the same thing financially. And each time I can just look at them and smile and say, no, I'm sorry, it's not allocated. No, not right now. Nope, Okay, and here's when you know you're good at saying no. When you feel no reason to explain why. Why is this important? Because if you get a windfall, let's say you sell your business. Okay, because I'm going to talk about a case study here in the next few slides. Let's say you sell your business, right? And all of a sudden, you've got people that emotionally you're close to, their friends, their family, maybe their old business partners, maybe their coworkers, their employees, they're whoever, and they're someone to you. And they come to you and they're like, I need this, or I think you should do that, or I found this opportunity, or could you help me start this business or that, right? And you don't get good at saying no to them. Do you know what's going to happen? You're going to give your money to them. They're going to lose it because they're also not financially trained. And then that relationship's going to be strained and you'll be broke. This is the reality of the situation. Number 5, invest in asset classes that have a 100-year track record only. Okay. This is my personal rule. This is not like a law of wealth. People have done otherwise. This is not necessarily like a hard and fast, if you don't do this, you're going to be poor thing. But I think it's a pretty good idea. If something doesn't have a track record as an asset class of 100 years or more, I ain't touching it. I want things that have been around 100 years and things that are gonna be around in 100 years. I'm not interested in things that might work. New developments, I don't care. I'm not interested in those. I'm also not interested in old stuff that's not gonna be around anymore. I want the things that have been around 100 years and will be around 100 years. If I stay in those sweet spots as an investor, when that windfall happens, I'm going to put it in something like that. What are those things? Life insurance has been around 100 years or longer. Real estate has been around 100 years or longer. Gold and silver have been around 100 years or longer. Certain businesses have been around 100 years or longer. They're going to be around 100 years or longer. So those are the things I'm looking at. So here's the case study. Let's check this out. Let's get into some real numbers. So I actually had a call with this guy a couple weeks back. Okay, then again today. No, yesterday. Okay, so he's a business owner and he sells his company. He's going to bring in $10 million in cash. Real thing, real scenario, real happening. Okay, so on this, I want you to think about this because most lottery winners don't think about this. Most athletes don't think about this. My first thought on 10 million is, what's the tax bill? Okay, if your first thought when you get 10 million is, oh man, my life just changed, that's a sign of financial naivety. You're not trained. You are not trained if you're immediately thinking about how your quality of life is going to improve forever because you have $10 million now. The first thing you should think about is the taxes. In this case, if he didn't do anything, he's going to pay $2 or $3 million in taxes. So the very first thing is meet with a CPA. Okay, I'm not a financial CPA. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a tax professional. Okay, so we have a CPA on our team. We have a tax planner on our team. We scheduled a meeting with them. Okay, now, as an investment person, as an insurance person, as a financial person, often when you meet with that individual, you're like, oh man, I hope I can make a really big sale and they buy this product. That's what most financial people are thinking. And that goes back to the point of get really good at saying no. Okay, because he actually told me, he said, as soon as the money came in, my life has been chock full of opportunities. Left and right, people, hey, I've got a financial guy, I've got an opportunity, I've got an investment idea. Right? So again, ignore the opinions of others. Get really good at saying no. Number 2, so the CPA, figure out how much are we going to owe. Number 2 is meet with the tax planner to determine if you can legally reduce or avoid the taxes. Now, this is you. Like if you get a windfall, these are your steps. Anyone that receives an extra chunk of money should be doing this. Okay, this is not just this particular guy. I don't want you thinking about it as like an exterior viewpoint where, oh, that's someone else and it doesn't apply to me. No. If you received 100 grand tomorrow, I would tell you to do this. You can even screenshot this slide right now. Okay, if you're on audio, I'm sorry you don't have the screenshot on the podcast, but listen closely. So number 1, meet with the CPA, understand how much is taxable and what the tax burden will be. Number 2, meet with the tax planner, determine if you can legally reduce or avoid the taxes. Number 3, determine how much will go toward taxes and costs. So you're going to see what is the bill, how much can we reduce it by, what's the net? This is the net number right here. Okay, determining the net, how much is truly going to go to taxes and costs. Number 4, Then we're going to meet with an asset protection attorney to protect and preserve what you will receive. This is important because let's say it's 10 million and we handle the taxes and he gets to keep 9 of it or 8 of it, for example. Okay, $8 million buys a lot of assets, which is good. It's a good problem to have. That's also a lot of things that you want to protect with trusts and LLCs and entities. So that's why we're meeting with an asset protection attorney. Now, it's harder for you to buy all these assets and then go set the thing up after and retitle all of the assets. You're going to create more work if you do that. So it's smarter to strategize with an asset protection attorney and say, hey, this is how much I have. Here's what I'm thinking of doing. Let's put this thing together now, so that as I acquire the assets, I've already got my financial structure in place and I can just put these things in there, right? Number 5, meet with your financial mentor or advisor, develop a plan. Okay, a plan. Your plan is not your financial retirement number. Your plan is like, what is the vision for what we're doing in life? We've just got resources that are going to speed up the vision of our life now and maybe even change it. And what are the steps we're going to take to get there? What are the bright ideas? What are the things we're going to do? Okay? So develop a plan. Number 6, determine how much you want to keep liquid. So this was the first thing I said to him. I was like, hey, let's handle the taxes. Let's handle the debts. Let's handle the costs, all those things. And we've got our net number left over. Okay? Now, let's say it's 6 million that's left. How much do you want to keep liquid? For safety reasons, security reasons, opportunities. Maybe you're going to start some projects. Maybe you want to start a business. Let's figure that number out first. Okay. Next thing is I want you to have some fun. Okay. Pick an amount and just say, cool. We're going to set that. That's going to be for the vacation. That's going to be for the trip. That's going to be for, taking the wife out, whatever it might be. Okay. That's your reward. That's so you get to enjoy what you just did. You pull in a windfall somehow, like enjoy it, celebrate it. And this is giving you permission to avoid overspending and going broke. It's the poverty mindset that we develop by being not financially trained that causes us to waste the money once we get it. Oh, I finally can have it. And it's like an animal that hasn't eaten in weeks. And all of a sudden you start plowing it in your face, right? So say, cool, we're going to take 10% of it and that's going to go towards just enjoyment. Okay, done. Checked off the list. Allocate an amount to bolster your active income. Okay, this is smart. Invest in yourself first. Okay, what are you doing for active income? Do you need to go get a certification? Do you need to take sales training? What if you needed to learn about marketing? What if there's another license you could get, right? Take some of the money and invest in yourself. Forget about real estate and assets for now. You are your number one asset. Okay, number 9, allocate an amount for assets that are guaranteed against loss. So now we're talking about putting it in other assets. We're going to have a bucket that's guaranteed not to lose money, right? And this is not our highest performing bucket, and that's fine. And that number is going to be different for everyone. I don't put a ton in that bucket. Okay, not including my sacred account, because I've technically put everything first in the sacred account, but I don't leave it there, right? We're talking about leaving it there. Okay, so for this bucket, I might use a real estate annuity, or I might use a precious metals annuity. Something where it's not going to lose money. It's there. I know it's going to make 4 or 5 or 6% pretty consistently. I'm not going to get rich off of it, but it's my downside. If anything happens, no matter what, I know that's going to be there, right? Then we have a bucket for passive income producing assets. Okay, a little more on the aggressive side, a little more on the growth side. Okay, number 11, move on with your life like nothing happened. Okay, if you got a windfall, great. I'm excited for you. That's good. If you did all these steps, it's back to business now. It doesn't change that you still need to train about finance. You still need to keep earning income. You still need to save. You still need to invest, right? And those things will never change just because you got a windfall. And that's the myth. That's the myth that unfortunately I've fallen into. It's rampant in the financial world. It's the myth that the goal of all of this is to just relax on the beach somewhere. Get the passive income and just relax on the beach somewhere. And that's not the goal. Okay, the goal is for you to live out your purpose and achieve the vision that you have for your life. And if your vision, and I doubt this is your vision, if your vision is just to play golf or just throw back pina coladas on the beach, that's kind of a purposeless life. Okay, you want to link in with your purpose. And I want you to think about that, okay? So what's your action plan? Number one, if you didn't get the hint, okay, decide that you will invest in your financial literacy. Get financially trained. Get financially trained. I'm going to say it again. Get financially trained. You can't afford not to. Right? $380 billion cost to Americans. That's between $1,500 to $2,500 per year on average that every American loses towards financial illiteracy. You're already spending $1,500. You're already spending $2,500 to be financially illiterate. Right? So decide you're going to invest in getting financially trained. Grab my book. Okay, get the book, read the book, plug in with Wealth Dynamics Nation. Okay, so I'm going to put the QR code here. If you're watching this at this point, okay, grab my book. And if you're listening, okay, the link, it's going to be jerryfetta.com/B2F promo. That's also probably in the description of the podcast. But guys, if you're watching this, scan the QR code, get the book. It's free. Okay, you cover your own shipping. I send the book out to you for free. You get all my hard work, all of my effort, my publishing, the cover, the pages, all the material, everything in the book is free. You cover the shipping. Right? And start your journey of financial training. Right? And I want to give you a real story. I talked to a client Wednesday or Thursday this week. Right? Really good guy. Really good guy. And he said, Jerry, I found you about a year ago. And he's like, my life honestly was pretty bad. Right? I wasn't doing well. Things weren't going well with finances. My spouse doesn't even trust me anymore because of the decisions I've made in the past. And he's like, but I listened to your message. And he said, it changed my life. Okay, in the last 60 days, this guy has saved over $14,000 just by following what's in my programs. $14,000 he's actually saved. Extra money that he didn't have, he wasn't setting aside. And I asked him, I was like, did you increase your income a lot? And he said, in my case, no, I'm on a pretty stable income. I changed my habits. So now he's working on increasing the income, but just by reading the book, just by plugging in with Wealth Dynamics Nation on Facebook, he saved 14 grand, guys. That's substantial. Okay, for someone that's making, $100,000 a year, 14,000 is nothing to snuff your nose up at. That's a big chunk of money. That's more than most people have. Okay, so if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, get the book. Get the book, make whatever the shipping is, $10 investment in shipping. I can't give you that free too. I'll give you the book for free. You do your shipping. Now, let's not be ridiculous. But get the book, make the investment. And the investment, I want you to realize, is an investment in yourself. It's you believing in yourself. It's you saying, I can do this. Okay, now there's a couple reasons you wouldn't get the book. Number one, you don't believe any of this is true. Or you've watched too many videos, you've seen too many gurus, maybe you've been burned before. Okay, so if that's the case, what I want you to do is I want you to go on Facebook. I want you to go to Wealth Dynamics Nation, and I want you to request to join that group. Take some of our free courses. Okay, I actually lose money on the book, so you're tracking. Like me giving it to you for free, and then you pay the $10 or whatever the shipping is. I lose money on each and every book I sell. I don't do that for profit. I want you to understand that. That's actually like a loss. Like it's not something where I'm rich off of books. Okay, so it's actually, for me, better if you go to the Facebook group because it doesn't cost me anything when you go to the Facebook group. You can take the courses there. We have free wealth guides in our Facebook group. Do that first. And when you believe at some point this is either real or not, if you feel it's real, grab the book. But the other reason you wouldn't do this is you've read books before, you've watched courses before, and you didn't do anything with the information. Right? And so for that reason too, get the book and then join Wealth Dynamics Nation. Do a post, introduce yourself, say who you are. I just bought the book and I'm looking for accountability. I'm looking for support. My group has you. Wealth Dynamics Nation has your back. We will support you. We will keep you accountable. We will encourage you to continue your studying so that you can change your life. Because here's the thing. Everyone in my Wealth Dynamics Nation group, everyone in my company, all of my clients, we're aligned under the same mission. Okay, we want good people to build more wealth, who in turn take that wealth and make the world a better place. And that's going to happen one person at a time, and we know good people need help. So if you're a good person and you need help, grab the book. We will help you. We will support you. We will get you through it. I promise you that. Guys, I'm running late. I went a little bit over. Thank you for sticking with me on this. Have a fantastic Friday. Have a good weekend. I will be back again next week for Finance Friday. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. And again, get financially trained. Get the book. I'll see you next time.